You know, doing. If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. We have a few different monopolies to go through, as well as a Jurassic World dinosaur that we gotta see if it works. And we got two Funko Pops. A bit of variety today. So we're gonna dig into these monopolies. Alright, so we have a Monopoly Electronic Banking, which we want the unit out of that. We have Frozen 2. Then I have two Miss Monopolies. Now, I talk about not wanting to pick up derivatives of Monopoly because they tend not to sell well. I don't sell them as a box game anyways, but I like Miss Monopoly because the money is just the modern money. So it's actually, you have the tokens, you have the modern money. It's pretty much just a monopoly at that point. I could run these as the Miss Monopoly token set, or I could sell them. I do 10 random tokens, and that actually sells pretty well. So look at these real quick. So some of the derivatives, the money is different, and some sell and some do not sell. But I like picking up the modern money just because I know it's going to move. I actually can't keep it in stock. It's the most popular one now. I don't know why, but yeah, it moves really well. They haven't really changed. Other than the color scheme, it's the same bills. And again, we talk about derivatives. Some of the derivatives only have like the 500 and the 100 in them, so you can't really use it for anything. So that's why I try to keep the ones that I know the money is going to actually carry some kind of value. I'll get these sorted. So, interestingly, has the 6 tokens for Miss Monopoly here, and they're all different. I don't think they've ever been done, although Jet's been in here a few times, but the design hasn't been redone. One of them was missing the white hat, and that's the one that's been, obviously the top hat is classic. So that kind of sucks. So I'm going to put at least 5 of them into my random assortment bin. Weirdly, this game comes with way more money. So this is a stack from a general Monopoly, the modern one, and it's got like maybe 20% more money. So I'm going to knock these stacks down and see if I can get a third stack with my backup money. All right, so I did have enough with backup bills and the extra to get this. Like, they're still a little bigger than a regular pile, but not enough where I feel weird sending it out. So it just gets a little extra, and that's okay. And I did 5 for the random lot, and then I have one set. I had one set for sale for half a year now that has watchers and views, but nobody's actually picked it up. So I added another one, did volume pricing on it. Doesn't really hurt me to have it around. So that'll put me there. All right, now let's look at Frozen 2. Frozen 2. These have a couple of weird additions to the game. This feels very light, by the way. Guaranteeing this is missing something or a lot of something. But I have additions like this, whatever, snowflake. I'm gonna have to look and see because I have listed these in the past. I know for a fact I have taken these tokens and I've done them as randoms. I don't know if it's because I was missing one of the tokens or because they just weren't selling. So that's why we do this, like, review and see where we're at with stuff. So let me get this sorted. All right, so what we learned here, I looked at my frozen stuff, and I like doing this just because it helps you keep inventory going. I'm actually really light. I had at one time 1,100 items for sale. I am down to 830 because I haven't been able to source stuff. It's just how it is sometimes. But, you know, this allows me to go through and look at what I'm selling and make decisions. So I have 3 sets of this money. No one has ever purchased one. So now I have 4, and I lowered the price to the lowest amount of money I'm willing to sell things for, which is $7. Because after shipping, I make about $1 and change, depending on where they live. Let's move some of those. I have 4 sets of these for sale. No one's ever looked at them, so I'm going to stop listing them. And next time I'm going through my inventory, I'm going to throw them away. So we know that. This will go in the garbage. That way I stop listing stuff because they're already at the cheapest price and nobody's looking at them. Snowflake is gone. The sets I have 3 sets of these with Snowflake plus dice, which were missing. There's special blue dice for this. I've had 1 person look at it, ever. So these are going into my random pile, which I realized as I was doing this, I had sold out of random lots. So that plus the other ones, plus I have a few different ones, that adds 2 random lots. That puts us there. And now we'll bust out the electronic banking one. Alright, finally we got electronic banking. So all I want is the unit and the token. Last time I bought one, there was no unit in it. This time we do have the unit, which is nice. Hotels and houses are not standard, so I don't do anything with them. So we got the unit. We have, this one has 6 cards, I think. We have all 6. Now, tokens. I don't think this has any. Son of a bitch. I'm not hearing any. Not a single one. That's like a... It's not even an accident. Somebody stole them. I'm not saying a customer. I'm saying the jackass that dropped this off at the thrift shop, for whatever reason, kept all the tokens. So, thankfully, the unit sells for so much we don't actually need the tokens. Let's see if it works. You slot in a card to turn it on. I'm not doing anything. So anything battery operated, you look at the back. If you have the option of buying something battery operated, look at the back around the battery cover. If it's white, like white crystals coming out, that means your battery's exploded. And if you have the option, you may want to pass on it unless you feel like repairing stuff. I don't mind, but you can't always get it to work. I've been pretty lucky though. This. Okay. I used to have more screwdrivers up here. I took one to work for some reason. Alright. So those are actually corroded. That sucks. They just didn't blow up in spectacular fashion. Let's see if we can get them out. So the risk here is breaking the spring part. This one's really in here. Son of a bitch. Alright, bear with me. Alright. So I've got those batteries out. I'll find 2 here, and hopefully we don't have to do any repairing, but this side actually looks pretty bad. We'll see. Haven't done a repair video in a bit. Yeah, it looks like we're doing that. Let me get my implements. Alright, we haven't done one of these in a bit, thankfully, I suppose, but if you need to repair a battery-operated toy, you need a toothbrush, a flathead screwdriver, a Q-tip, and some vinegar. So I use the toothbrush to get all the loose stuff and pieces off. I've already scraped it with the screwdriver. So the screwdriver, you go under the spring and on top of the other connecting point. And you got to get to bare metal. The big thing is don't break this. So once you've cleared all that out, you take the Q-tip with the vinegar. You can use any kind. It kind of doesn't matter, although I have apple cider because that's what I have, and it smells like apple cider vinegar. And you apply it. I don't know if the microphone will pick that up, but it will sizzle. You can kind of see it a little bit anyways at the bottom there. You'll get you can definitely see the bubbles there. You'll get bubbles and it'll break up all that alkalinity on the spring and let you clean it. You just need to make a connection. So that spring part like compresses, so all the loops have to touch and touch to the bottom for it to work. All right, we'll do the other side. So if you get a big like droplet to get in there, that's really the best way to do it. And give this time to work for a bit. All right, so I let it sizzle for a while. I kind of banged it out and dried it. I don't know, it wasn't really that bad looking, but it was bad enough where it didn't work. So same 2 batteries. And there we go. We have life. All right, so we repaired that. So we'll look this up and see what these are going for. We'll actually just go to my own page. I think I have this one for sale. We'll look up banking. And I like to use vague terms when I look up my own stuff because sometimes something will pop up and you'll say, oh, you know, that's something I haven't thought of and I should probably adjust the price or whatever. So we have voice banking, we have junior, we have a 2008, we have a here and are there really different ones? Tested working, cards working. I gotta look at that. I think I might have fucked up. And that's why you look stuff up. Here and now. Yeah, I made 2 listings at 2 different price points of the same exact fucking thing. Whoops. But now I know. I'm going to combine that. No, I'll probably just go 14. Split the difference. That's stupid. Okay. And then this one. So I'm actually out of this unit. So now I'll consult my sold listings. And we'll see what I sold this for. Because these go pretty quick. Yeah, so I just sold this one a month ago for $12. So that can even come up. Same exact one. So I'm just going to reactivate that listing at $12. So there we are. No tokens. You know, kind of shot us in the foot. All right, so now we have these toys to look at. So let's look at this Jurassic Park dinosaur. All right, here we go. So I fixed the listing, and the reason I didn't notice it is whenever I look up my banking units, I write banking. That listing was banker unit, so it wouldn't come up. So that's why it sat for like a year at too high of a price point. So I actually put both of them at 12 and did volume pricing. So we'll see if somebody picks up both. I have been selling multiples to other resellers to complete full games. All right, so talk about this. I have other items I'm going to be showing from a pickup. So Goodwill that I go to. I've been doing this for like 4 years now. There's a manager that works there that knows me, and always be nice to retail workers, just on principle. Be nice to everybody, you know. But retail workers, I've done retail. It sucks. They remember you if you're kind. They also remember you if you are not kind. This one, I've always gotten along with her, so she saw me looking at a few dinosaur and like alien figures on a shelf, and she said, "Hey, we got a whole bunch of those in." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't see any." It's like, "Well, I haven't put them out yet. Hold on." Wheels out a cart full of dinosaurs. You know, some of them were overpriced. You know, I spent 20 minutes going through them. Superheroes, dinosaurs, aliens, animals. Some she'd overpriced. You know, they were good, but I wasn't going to get anything out of them. Some were bootleg. But this is a legit Jurassic Park. You always look for the Jurassic Park logo. And it's a Sound Strike, whatever this dinosaur is called. And I think it works because, I don't know if this is going to pick it up, making that click. It wants to start, but the batteries are dead. So that's better than what we got out of the banking unit. I almost dumped that vinegar out, but I thought maybe that's bad luck. So I'm going to put some fresh batteries in this, and it should work. So this is the one I picked up because this one, some of them she'd priced at like $10. This one she priced at $4, which didn't make a ton of sense. But you know, I'm not here to necessarily educate the store clerk on this kind of shit. She's never asked me any pointed questions about value. I've never offered her any insight. So these batteries are no good. These are little disc ones, and I hate these because they go bad. They go bad just sitting out. It's really strange, but they will actually, you'll notice like they'll start corroding just like existing. So sometimes I have to go through a whole bunch just to get it tested out. And then next time I go to use those same batteries, they're no good. We're getting that click still. So I'll try some more. So when in doubt, I will slot these into something I know works, like a fingerling or something like that. And I'll find 3 or 4 batteries that are okay. But I haven't gotten a toy with these in a while that did work. See? Nope, still no. We're gonna have to find some better batteries. No, as I'm sitting here sorting through all of these fucking batteries, I thought, I wonder if a voltmeter can actually detect if these are any good. So we're gonna find out. Got 1.15. Got 1.3. This one's 1.2. If I get 3 1.5s, we'll try it. I don't know what these actually should be. 1.4. There's not a lot of discrepancy here. That's 1.5. Okay. I don't know, this one looks terrible. We'll see. Just guessing. Yeah, what do they say on the back? They don't really tell you what they're supposed to do. I could look it up. We'll see if 315s do anything for us. Holy shit, that actually worked. A voltmeter can actually tell you the little bastards work or not. So he works. Sweet. All right, I gotta go put that back before I forget. Put my voltmeter away. I use that for work, so I don't want to, die because I was checking batteries. All right, so let's see if we can find this guy. So it's Sound Strike is the not brand. I've lost the word. Anyways, so here he is. Sound Strike Paracephalopoulos. I'm gonna copy that because I'm not gonna remember this. There we go. We're gonna do Sound Strike. That. How many of these we got? 54. So I looked these up at the store, and they do sell, obviously better in the box, but for $4, I'll make something off of it. We're just going to see where we can price it. And these are all going to be the same. I believe they only did this once. So it's Jurassic World versus Jurassic Park. Yeah, so it looks like 16 is the cheapest. We got 54 for sale. We've got 11 sold, which, 20% sell-through is not bad. A loose guy for 20, that does make a lot of sense. 15. Or sorry, 16. And that's what the other one is selling for, so we'll just do 15 with free shipping. I am going to have to... I might have to box this, which sucks. So that's going to cost more. Or I might have to double bundle. I haven't done a how to package stuff video in a while, but I'll talk about that maybe. So I use these, and you can get these if you buy in bulk for 22 cents each. Depending on what I sell, I can cut them into fourths and have 4 like Monopoly tokens, for instance, sets of those. So now I'm down to 5.5 cents. But the other thing you could do is, for instance, something that's kind of bulky, but you don't want to box it because a box is going to add like another couple of bucks to the shipping, is bubble wrap them, and you can slide them in, and if his ass end is hanging out, take another one and just cut it here, and then kind of put it over and make like a tube almost. Or if it's too thick to slide into the envelope, you could seal it and cut this edge off, and then it'll open up from the side, and then you kind of do the same thing. You cut a portion of another one, and you can just make a bigger envelope. So rather than having multiple sizes, I just get that one. Do a lot with it. So after shipping, 15, we're not going to make a ton on this, but I think we're going to be about there. All right, let's look at the last thing, which are 2 utterly random Funkos. All right, last thing we got are these Funkos. So, covered a lot of bases in this video, actually. Funkos. I don't buy them if they're in a box almost ever. However, any Funko you can get outside of a box for $1 is absolutely worth picking up. And even the stupid ones will eventually sell, because while the bubble is burst on Funkos in vaults, and what I mean by that is there are more people offloading collections at this point than are getting into collecting Funkos. But this guy does not want to stand up, which is weird because he doesn't even come with a base. But we'll argue with that later. But people will buy them on the cheap because they want to display them like on a desk. So that's where having them in the box limits what you can do with them. And it makes it more expensive for people that just want something to go on a desk. Something to have. So if I can get them for $1, I always do it. Doesn't even matter what they are. So I had a hell of a time trying to figure out what these were in the store. I did Google Lens that one, and it said it was Michael Scott from The Office in an episode of, one of the episodes. And that's where Funko went wrong, I think, as a business, is they overdid absolutely everything. Hard to be a collector when you will never complete your collection because there's too many fucking things to collect. And they did that with everything. So let's see if we can find that one. I've seen every episode, I think. I love that show, but this isn't, it wasn't making a lot of sense that it was him, because this person looks like they have a ponytail. Crutches. Oh yeah, that's when he burned his foot in the panini press or whatever. Do you really need that? Did that need to exist? Were people crying out for the panini press injury Funko Pop? Oh, there it is. I don't get why he has a ponytail. It's not a do-rag, is it? Michael Scott, 1005. I just want to see if I find one outside the box to confirm, because the ponytail's weird. I think it has to be it, though. It's the bow tie is crooked. Yeah, okay, you can see here. I don't recall whatever this was, whatever episode this was, but... So, we have 192 of these for sale, and the pricing's going to be pretty dramatically different, because a lot of these, the bubble burst. So you start putting really weird pricing on stuff just to try to get it to move. So $10 boxed generally means we're going to be selling this for $8. And sometimes people are selling them at a loss, and that's really the only time you get screwed over, is somebody's selling a box one for $4, and you will never sell yours until that one's gone. And that's why I just ended up giving them to my kids. So 192, 11 sold, and like this, 550 free shipping. This person made $0. They made -$, doing this. So we're just going to list it out of the box for $8. We're not going to make a ton of money, but we're going to do something. Now this one is from Naruto because of the swirly eyeball. I'm guessing 13,000 Naruto Funko Pops. Okay. 5,400. I just assumed that this was a flush market, and just to know how Naruto Funko Pops are doing. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that was sold. Holy shit. That is sold, so I might actually be right. 26,000. Oh my. There's so many because I figured because the age of people that get into this stuff and Naruto being really popular during COVID and all that. But 26,000 of these for sale. Now the sell through is not terrible at all. At 54, in fact. But who is this guy? I think it's a bad guy because he has a purple swirly eye. And I might give up and Google Lens it because there's going to be a ton of these. I tried to Google Lens it at the store and it couldn't figure out what this was. And it's funny, like, people talk about, like, AI and how it's going to replace this and that. You could change the posture of stuff and it'd be like, oh, that's a piece of candy. Like, oh, hey, that's a thermostat. Like, oh, it's a Funko Pop. You don't even know what you're looking at, robot. Is this the same guy? The eyebrows are different. Can't see if he has a red eye. Suke. The weapons are different. Armor's different. I don't watch any anime, so. Yeah, I guess I'll just lens them and we'll figure it out. Alright, so Google Lens says Madara Uchiha. This is not the same dude. Oh, he's got that thing. He's got a swirly eye. It's like a pumpkin. Is that like a generic name for the bad guys? God damn it. How many of these are there? 1,000. This guy's got like a mask off to the side. Is that him? No. Like, yes, but no. Reanimation. So he's got that thing, but this guy has a... What is that? Sarigama. I don't know that because of anime. I know that because I'm a nerd for karate. That's the reanimation again. So we're looking for a specific pose. Oh, here we go. A Target exclusive. Madara. Okay, 978. We have now narrowed this down. And it's not the other thing. Madara, 978. Okay. Only 600 of these for sale. And this is still not, like, showing me the right thing. See if this works. If I put it in quotations, then it should only show me... Okay. 40. Pricing is not bad. A lot of these are signed, so a lot of these probably went to conventions. But pricing's not bad. Damage box, 20 bucks. Alright, so let's see. Out of 40, how many sales? 17. This is a good one. Not seeing any out of the box. And that one's a bid. That guy got screwed over. Okay. So this is actually a good pickup for a pop. Not all the anime ones are. So the cheapest one, if you want this to have on a desk, is $20. So I am going to do 15. I only paid $1 for it. And this will be easier to ship. So I'm going to do about there. So not bad. pretty long video because I had to do a lot of different stuff during this, but whatever. I got some good pickups to go through. We'll see. This game board thing is working out pretty good. I've knocked my pile down. I only have 4 board games to go through right now. So, see how that goes over the weekend. If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.